We know that we're getting a Pokemon Presents in July. July 22nd, we're having a Pokemon Presents, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically a ginormous announcement where, Pokemon, Game Freak, whatever, they announce a ton of things for Pokemon. It could be brand new games, which typically there is a brand new game involved. They also announce just updates for their other games, like Pokemon Go, or, the TCG Pocket app, or just random other apps that they have, like Pokemon Sleep, which, let me know if you use Pokemon Sleep. I've never actually used it. But this time around, they announced this early. Usually we get like a little bit of a heads up, maybe like a week or something before the actual Presents is taking place, but this time around we got the Pokemon Presents announced like 2 months ahead of time. And this makes a lot of people think that they're going to drop something big. Now, I personally definitely think that we're going to see the new Mega Evolution trailer for Legends ZA. Like, I really think this is where they're going to drop all of the Mega Evolutions that we're going to be getting within the game. Now, we don't have anything confirmed just yet, but I do think it's going to happen. I just can't imagine them releasing Legends ZA without any brand new Mega Evolutions. I think that the fans love Mega Evolution too much to like let that slide, and I think Game Freak, they know that. They know that we want these Mega Evolutions, and we're going to pay up, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be buying all the merch, all the Pokemon cards and everything, all the plush of these Mega Evolutions. So Game Freak, you better give it to us. Okay, moving on. A lot of people think that they're actually going to announce Generation 10 because of the fact that it was announced so early ahead of time. So it's like, okay, they got to be getting people prepared for it. I actually do have a small little leak to go over too regarding like a screenshot of Generation 10, which is not a screenshot that I can see personally, just a person kind of talking about it / bringing it up, which is interesting. It's from a reputable source, so that kind of makes me a little bit curious. My personal opinion is like, I think they definitely could drop the announcement of Generation 10 for this upcoming Pokemon Presents, and now they want to build up hype for the Switch 2. I mean, the Switch 2 currently, I'm pretty sure is the best-selling console, like, at launch. I think they've sold, like, 3.4 million units in 4 days, which I think is better than the PS5, PS4. I'm pretty sure it's the best-selling console, like, within, like, the first couple days of its actual launch. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, where the Switch 2 goes in the next couple of years. Like, will the Switch 2 be a top-selling console of all time? Who knows? It could be. And now, I think if they did drop the announcement for Generation 10 during this Pokemon Presents, I think the only thing that we'd see is the title. Now, a lot of people are calling it Wind and Wave, which I don't think it's going to be called Wind and Wave. I think they're going to go with a different name. But what we know now is this game is going to be based on Greece. It's a Greek region based on the Cyclades, which is an archipelago, so it's going to have a lot of water, you know what I'm saying? And here's a little screenshot. Somebody said, change graphic engines and stable 60 FPS. Central Leaks responded and said, the graphics engine is the same as an SV. Someone else said, wasn't that the case for ZA and not Generation 10? And then Central Leaks once again said both games are using it. And then somebody else said, and how would you know? And then they also said a bad word, so I'm not going to put this part on the screen. Central Leaks then said, we have seen screenshots of Gen 10. Okay, so here's what's interesting about this. Is apparently the graphics engine is the same as SV, which doesn't mean that the graphics are going to look the same. What that essentially means is like the engine, like the thing that they use to build these games, like the software they use to build these games is going to be the same. Like I'm pretty sure they use the same engine for like many years of 3DS Pokemon games. So it's not like the graphics will look exactly the same, and I don't think that they will. I really do think that the graphics of Generation 10 are going to look a lot better than Gen 9 and Gen 8 and stuff like that. Now here's the thing, we don't want ultra realistic graphics. Nobody wants like a Pokemon game to look quite like, Call of Duty graphics or something like that. I mean, some people out there may, but we don't want like that ultra realistic look. What we want is a really cool, animated Pokemon game that has that Pokemon style, but like that's really unique. And graphics that just resemble Pokemon graphics, you know what I'm saying? Like all of the 2D art style is so Pokemon. 3DS art style for the Pokemon games, like that's so Pokemon, if that makes sense. So we need that going on in the future. And what's interesting is that he said we have seen screenshots of Generation 10. Now, I personally want to see these screenshots. I know he's probably never going to post it, but if you guys are brand new to the channel and if you want to stay tuned for all the Pokemon leaks and updates and everything, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications because I upload daily and I'm always getting this stuff out for you guys. So if you don't want to miss out on the potential of these screenshots being released, I guess just drop a sub and help me reach my goal of 30,000 subs. Any support goes such a long way. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome, by the way. Each and every single one of you are awesome. But for this next Pokemon Presents, we're definitely going to see some of the little things. Now, I will make a video eventually of like everything that I expect to see or like my wish list for the Pokemon Presents, but I'll probably wait until, the Presents is a couple of days away or like a week away. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Generation 10 is going to be big because, if you haven't seen it, Game Freak's brand new game, which is not a Pokemon game, it's called Beast of Reincarnation, looks really good. So we know Game Freak can make some great games, and apparently it's not even going to be on the Switch, which is insane. Like, apparently this game is not going to be on the Switch too, which I can't believe. Maybe it will be, I don't know yet. I hope it is, because I would love to play it on the Switch, but if not, I guess I'll play it on my Xbox or PlayStation or something like that. But for Generation 10, I think that they're going to cook something up pretty good. Like, I think they're going to make the game really good. I think that the graphics are going to be good. I really am expecting a bigger game, especially since it'll be the first generation, like, for the Switch 2 console itself, which the Switch 2, as we all know, has really opened so many different doors and avenues of like what we could have for the future of Pokemon, or just the future of like Nintendo first-party games as a whole, like Yoshi or like Mario or whatever it may be. Hopefully we get another Mario Odyssey game. That would be awesome. I know a lot of people want to see like voice acting and everything like that, so I think that'd be really cool to see some voice acting in Generation 10, although I wouldn't be upset if we didn't. I personally like voice acting, but I also don't care if we don't get voice acting, you know what I mean? It would be insane if we did get gameplay footage of Generation 10, or like even a little bit of a teaser, like a screenshot or something like that from this Pokemon Presents. I don't think that we will, because typically we get like the announcement of a brand new like mainline Pokemon game on Pokemon Day, which Pokemon Day is always in February. I think it's February 26th or 24th. I may be wrong on that date. My memory is not that great, guys. I'm sorry. But usually it's always in February, late February, where we get the brand new big mainline game announcements like Legend ZA or Generation 9, Generation 8, whatever it may be in the past. So I think for now, if we do get a announcement of Gen 10 for this Pokemon Presents that's coming in July, I think that the only thing we'd see is the name, because Marvel will do this a lot, the movie studio, where they'll just announce all the names of the upcoming films. There's no screenshots, there's no trailers or anything like that. But I do think that they have the name, and definitely, the game is being built. Like, they've probably been working on Generation 10 for at least a year now, I would say, like at least a year, maybe even 2 years. So it's not far-fetched for the possibility of Central Leaks actually having a screenshot or seeing a screenshot of Generation 10, especially since, Central Leaks is one of the biggest leakers out there. Like, he has some of the most followers out there at the moment as far as like a Pokemon / Nintendo leaker goes. They're not going to want to ruin their reputation and say, hey, we have screenshots, when they actually don't. So I don't know if I believe them, but I don't not believe them, if that makes any sense. And hopefully they do drop these screenshots one day. It's going to be interesting, because like maybe even after Generation 10 does come out, they could post the screenshots and be like, yeah, this was the early build of Generation 10. Look at this compared to how it looks now. And if they do have Generation 10 screenshots, or they've seen it, it's going to change. Like, the game is not going to look like how it looks in the screenshots that they've seen, because the game is not going to be out for at least like a year and a couple of months. This game will probably come out at the end of next year, if I had to guess, probably like November of 2026, which, obviously they got to have some years to be building and developing these games. So I want them to take as much time as possible. This will be a big gap. It'll be a 4-year gap in between Gen 9 to Gen 10, which, Gen 10 has to be a big game. It's the first double-digit Pokemon game ever. That's a pretty big deal. So I kind of have some high expectations for this game, maybe a little bit too high of expectations. But what do you guys want to see from Generation 10? Leave a comment down below. Could be like, better camera angles, better graphics, cool regional variants. It could be literally anything. What do you want to see from Pokemon Generation 10? And what do you think we're going to see for the Pokemon Presents this July? Just want to reiterate, I definitely think we're getting a new ZA trailer. I think it's possible to even get another ZA trailer before the Presents, but I do think without a doubt we're going to be getting a big ZA trailer for this Pokemon Presents. And if we do get a Gen 10, anything, I think it's just going to be the title. I don't think that they're going to announce anything else besides the name. It's obviously going to be 2 different names, like Scarlet and Violet. It's always like that for the brand new generation of Pokemon. So it's going to be 2 different names for sure, and I think they're going to announce that. But anyways, if you are real and watching this far in the video, comment down below mac and cheese, just to confuse the people that aren't watching this far in the video. Don't forget to like, turn on the post notifications, and subscribe to the channel to help me reach my goal of 30,000 subscribers. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.